Hello and thank you for joining us on the last edition of Journalist Hangout this week. I am Benga Oreshegun. Today on the program, former President Jonathan and Peter Obi meet behind closed doors in Abuja. Hospitals shut as residents, doctors begin nationwide strike. And later on the show, Senator Natasha issues National Assembly clerk 4-day ultimatum on immediate reinstatement. Well, I'll be hanging out with Paul Dada and Kaide Ladende. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Now, as politicians continue to form alliances for various political reasons ahead of the 2027 elections, citizens wait with bated breath for the outcomes. In what looks like a hatching alliance, former President Goodluck Jonathan has met with 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, in Abuja behind closed doors. After the meeting, Obi said they had a fruitful closed-door meeting to discuss the state of the nation. This recent discussion follows other meetings, including one in December 2022 during the presidential campaign and another in early 2025 after Obi returned to Abuja for New Year engagements. Okay, gentlemen. Paul, I'll start with you. According to Peter Obi, he said the meeting was fruitful. But if you're to, do a quick guess, what do you think was the main agenda of the closed-door meeting between Peter Obi and the former president? What do you think was discussed?
Well, one is not sure. We can only speculate.
Exactly.
Yeah, we can only speculate because it was a closed-door meeting. But it actually makes sense for such a meeting to take place.
Okay.
It is very clear. Peter Obi has said he's going to run in 2027. There is pressure in some quarters on Jonathan to run. And personally, I think it's in the best interest of the opposition, to have one voice. The thinking is that the thinking for many people is that the presidency should remain in the South.
The presidential ticket.
Yeah, the president, yes, should remain in the South for another 4 years, after 2027. I mean, that's what most people are thinking. Forget about what Atiku is planning. That's what many people are thinking. That is why even people like Peter Obi and I think Rotimi Amaechi said they will, if they get if they clinch the presidency, they will be one term, because they know that after 2031, it should return to the North. Now, if people are calling on Jonathan to run, Jonathan, well, is a stalwart, a former president, and then Peter Obi is there. It only makes sense for them to be in the same boat. I mean, not to. I'm just speculating,
Yeah, I understand.
Well, some people think that the best shot the opposition has now is Peter Obi. There are people who think so, who think so, and you can't fault that thinking. That because of the organic following he has. But again, if people like Jonathan decides to contest, if Jonathan decides to contest, if an Atiku decides to contest, it might be spoilers for for him, So I expect that I think that Peter Obi must have discussed his ambition. He must have probably heard from Jonathan whether he plans to actually
run or not.
But I think it has to do with
the 2027.
It has got to do with 2027. And how best the opposition can remove this current president.
We were not there.
Yeah.
Peter Obi only said the meeting was a fruitful one. But could this meeting signal the beginning of an alliance, ahead of the 2027 elections?
I feel this meeting is really more about Peter Obi and not necessarily about Jonathan. It is who Peter Obi is meeting that is now making it a headline. I've read from Tanko Yunusa, that's the coordinator of the Obedient Movement. He seems to have dropped because he wasn't speaking with so much authority, but he said, okay, in fact, the way the newspaper tagged it, they said the details of the meeting have emerged. the details have emerged. Now, but when you read through, you will see a deliberate move by the Obedient Movement and Peter Obi to sustain the momentum of being in the news.
Okay.
And these are some of the things he said, which Dada is professionally is not privy to. But quoting Yunusa now, he said, okay, the talk was about 2027, which he mentioned. The talk was about the need for Jonathan to remain an elder statesman.
Okay.
And he went further to even say, I'm quoting him now, to say that probably Jonathan, they believe that Jonathan was being, you know, sponsored by some politicians, you know, to whittle down the influence of Peter Obi, who says that is not possible. That's politics. You know, as long as they need to whittle down your power, after all, when Nigeria was playing against Rwanda, they had to bring down Osimhen. You know, and so it's part of the game. But I think the big gist here is they're working on the minds of prospective voters. They're working on the minds of average Nigerian who probably may not know about the game. Peter Obi knows that, that's me talking now, he knows that Jonathan stands a bigger chance because of this trust deficit. That, hey, young man, you're talking about one term. If the Northerners will choose between Jonathan and Peter Obi, he's looking at it that the Northerners will go for Jonathan, if at all they want to vote for opposition. So he's looking at the situation that this is a big setback if this man throws himself into the ring. But having said that, I think Peter Obi has bigger issues to deal with. Which platform is he going to work on? Is a major issue.
The Labour Party,
do you understand?
Or the PDP?
What is the temperature in this thing? I think it's getting clearer to him that ADC is not available to be picked.
But if I may, if you ask me, I would say that one will sort itself out.
That's true.
Because currently, we know that it's being wooed by the PDP. We also know that the Labour Party,
no,
the fashion,
ADC now.
No, forget about ADC. ADC
is taking.
ADC, I think there are people who think that Atiku is overshadowing ADC. So PDP is wooing Peter Obi. Apart from that, there are some PDP members. The Labour Party also, you know, the Labour Party, the faction to which he belongs,
the Nenadi
Usman, is now recognized by Julius Abure faction as is probably going to fizzle out if it's not fizzle.
All right, but I still want us to stay with the former President Goodluck Jonathan, because some of former President Goodluck Jonathan's supporters, they believe that he's the best Southern candidate that can match President Bola Tinubu. I'll start with you. How true is this?
That's Jonathan.
Yes.
Well, it's an opinion, but I do not share that opinion. Personally, I think that the best shot that the opposition candidate has, this is my personal opinion, you know, things can change, you understand, is Peter Obi, and I'll tell you why. Now, what Buhari was, what Buhari was before he died,
the 12 million votes,
exactly, is what Peter Obi is to some people. It does not have the size that
the spread,
the size and the spread. Okay. But the truth is, we cannot deny the fact that there are people who believe that Peter Obi is the Messiah Nigeria needs. It's a fact. He doesn't need to bribe them. He doesn't need to induce them. They just believe it. And that is why if somebody, for example, if somebody like Peter Obi visits the sick in the hospital and he visits them, you go to the social media, President, he has done this. If Tinubu visits the same hospital, they will say, why didn't he sit down? Why didn't he enter the ward?
Just look for
but if Peter Obi coughs, yes, our president has coughed. If another politician coughs, why did he cough? I mean, for those people. So he has this organic following. The only thing he needs to work on, now he cannot win alone by the people he has currently. The only thing he needs to, that's what he's doing now. Talking to Jonathan, talking to...
But you know why I asked you that question? Because earlier this week, some of the allies of former President Goodluck Jonathan are calling on, they're wooing Peter Obi to step down for the former president. That's why I had to ask that question.
You know, I'm happy that we don't agree on this.
Yes.
Because technically speaking, Peter Obi is very strategic with the social media stunt, and we see a whole lot taking place over there.
Okay.
There are professional bullies. There are people who immediately you share a different opinion, they come with all the
I'm very uncomfortable. I complain about them too.
You understand? But how much do we know is happening in reality, especially in the north? Because most of our friends, you know, social media is really this is really determined by where we also stay. Do you understand? If he checks the number of friends that he has more Southerners as friends than Northerners as friends. What is happening in their social media groups in that part of the country might also need to determine what exactly the people are saying.
I do not think Jonathan has enough.
No, I'm even talking about the president now. I'm talking about the president, people picking his flaws. There are people, you saw what happened during Buhari's death. You can see this crowd, you can see this Momo crowd. There are some people who believe that this man has touched them. We are seeing that in some campuses, we are seeing that in some places with the nail phone.
And the comparison is between Jonathan and Peter Obi, not Peter Obi and Tinubu.
Initially, you talked about if president visit the hospital.
I was talking about his organic following. I'm not even saying that it's more popular than
I'm not even debating that. I'm saying that let's check our circle of friends. Let's check what we are reading
on the social media
space. Check the real reality on the streets in other places. So, but the bottom line is, so that I don't forget your question, that of Jonathan, the reason of first 1 term, 2 terms, the Northerners are not playing games with it.
Okay.
We have endured, because their calculation is that the Southern has done more years than them. Now, Peter Obi will now do 8 years. As far as they are concerned, they don't trust the 4 years. So if Peter Obi is going to do the 8 years, it's a no-no.
Okay,
so if Jonathan stands more chance.
All right, just hold that thought. We have Olushola calling in. Olushola, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Mr. Oladende, you are looking younger, while Mr. Dada is looking old. Good evening, sir.
Say you're looking younger.
Now,
I wish I could hear you.
Between Peter Obi and Jonathan, for me, it's just like they are trying to make an alliance or canvas for 2027. But Nigerians will be very happy. Nigerians will be very, very happy if that coming together will be for the good of this country. It will not be a selfish reason why they are coming together. Yes, Jonathan has his own stand. Obi has his own stand.
Okay.
And for me, if they are coming together for the betterment of this country, it's good. But if they're coming together just for selfish reason, spending 1 year, putting Nigeria in more challenges or trouble, for me, it is not welcome. Have a good day.
All right, you
too. Thanks.
You too. Thank you so much.
So we should continue this discussion.
Yeah, you said you're looking younger.
I just want to land by saying that when it comes to these two men, on the surface, as we speak, I want to believe that Jonathan stands a stronger opportunity.
A better chance.
A better chance.
Because you can only run one term.
When we now go into the politics, you know, when they know who is going to be the opposition, you now see the real game.
Okay.
That's when you can say game on. That's when they will begin to bring out some of his flaws. They will begin to bring out some of his inaction. They'll begin to bring out some of those things that he has not had opportunity to do when he was the president.
If you were to advise him, would you advise him to take the bait?
I think, for me, I would expect Jonathan to back off. Back off, looking at the voice of his wife, you know. The wife knows how Herculean, how tasking, you know this. I say this with so much consciousness. I remember having an editorial, editors were meeting Oluremi Tinubu after they left as the governor and the first lady. And people were saying, are you coming as the governor? He said, I was a first lady. I don't dream of becoming a governor of Lagos State. It's a lot of work.
Okay, we have Ade calling in from London. Ade, you have the floor.
Yes, I greet all of you, the panelists.
Good evening.
Let's take I want to look at it from this angle. 2 things are against Jonathan. Number 1, it's time, tenure. If Jonathan come to the ring, people will challenge it in Supreme Court of eligibility. That's number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, South, they are now for APC. For you to be a presidential candidate, you need a war chest. Delta, Akwa Ibom, they are in APC. Where is the money going to come from? So my advice to Jonathan is that he should stay at his statement. Because if the case got to Supreme Court said he cannot contest anymore, that would be a disgrace. So let him just be at the background, support Peter Obi or whoever you want, and let it go on like that. There's no way you can be sworn in 3 times.
All right, thank you.
It's not going to happen. God bless you.
Thank you, Adi. The same question I asked him. If you to advise the former president to take, would you advise him to take the bait or just...
I probably would tell him to listen to his wife, his family members. I'm not his family member. He can decide for himself. But you heard what the wife said. I will probably tell him, look, listen to your wife. Because we heard what the wife said. You understand? But I think that the opposition, for the opposition to give the current administration a run for its money, he needs to get his act together. And that's the truth. To defeat an incumbent
is not
to defeat a politician like Tinubu, like Bola Tinubu, is not something you can do so easily. It's not something you can do so easily. Now that he even has the power of incumbency, it's a very difficult thing. It's not just by social media rhetoric. It's not by insulting people on social media.
Absolutely.
It's not by bullying those who don't believe in your candidate.
Okay.
So,
all right, gentlemen, beautiful conversation. All right, let's move straight to our next conversation.